You see, as of right now, there will be protests in the college if I tell you what to dress, or if you tell me instead. Let's say your dean tells you all what to wear starting tomorrow. If your dean takes one step further and orders that each person consume only 4 idlis in the morning. If your dean informs you that everyone needs to wake up at 5 in the morning, you would believe that he was trying to make you into slaves and would cry and shout for your freedom if he had imposed 10 other rules like this, physical things to do, wouldn't you? However, if someone else were to decide what should occur around you at this very now, you would feel like a slave. However, if someone else were to decide what should occur inside of you at this exact moment, would that not also constitute slavery? Is this not enslavement when someone else decides whether you are happy or unhappy? Is this not enslavement when someone else decides whether you will be a lovely or unpleasant person? The worst kind of enslavement is when someone else decides what goes inside of you, isn't it? Is this true? Simply put, although it seems normal because everyone is like that, it is not. It's not right. It does not become normal just because everyone is like that. Because if everything went exactly as you wanted it to, where would I be? This human being, life will not happen, will never happen entirely the way you want it to, and it should not happen. I'm relieved that it isn't happening in your favor. Now that you are a student, what? You are still a student, and I estimate that approximately 60% to 70% of life is going your way. The percentage will be reversed once you get married. We are unsure. We are unsure of the direction it will go. Therefore, if life is happening around you, it won't always go according to plan and it shouldn't. Life will not happen unless you are surrounded by machines, and even those machines will spook you out, isn't that right? Don't the machines bother you daily for one reason or another? It's true. Therefore, nothing that happens outside of you will ever be exactly how you want it to be. If your happiness, joy, or let's stop using all these terms, ultimately it is pleasantness versus unpleasantness. We have various labels for pleasantness, including ecstasy, bliss, joy, serenity, and contentment. We have various titles for unpleasantness, including stress, worry, fear, tension, anything else, lunacy, etc. The possibilities of you being nice all the time are distant if your pleasantness depends on the events happening around you, don't you think? It isn't conceivable because of the nature of things. It is only conceivable if you can put some distance between this and that. In the sense that many people have the habit of looking up and upward when something doesn't go as planned. Is it not? The entire world is optimistic. Gazing upward. You can see that the planet is spherical. You are aware of this? Okay, the world is round, you're not perched on top of the North Pole, but rather in, say, the tropical city of New York, and the dang thing is spinning, so if you look up, you're constantly facing the wrong way, isn't it? You are almost always looking up the wrong way. Is this true? Perhaps at a specific time in, say, Greenwich. When you looked up at mean time, 0 hours, you might have hit the sky. You generally always have your eyes turned in the incorrect direction. Is this true? Is there anyone who can tell which way is up and which way is down in this vast cosmic space? Does anyone know? Is it labeled, this side up, somewhere? Nobody actually knows which is up or down. This is simply a presumption, right? Really, do you know which is north and which is south? Do you actually understand what north and south are? We just fix things for our convenience, isn't that right? Are you sure? Do you understand what east and west are? No. What exactly are forward and backward? You lack knowledge. You don't know any of these things. There is only one thing you can be sure of right now, and that is that you are aware of what is external and internal. This is your single privilege, and it is both internal and external. You only understand what is external and inside. Just in case you lose that if you ever become enlightened. Yes. That's what happened to me. As a result, I'm all over the place since I'm unsure of what is internal and what is external, what belongs to me and what doesn't. Now that you've stated that you are aware of what is internal and external, let's look into this issue more. Have you ever had an outside of yourself experience? You experienced both brightness and darkness in everything that has ever happened to you. You experienced both joy and suffering as well as both pain and pleasure. Have you ever had an outside of yourself experience? No. So, I want to know what happens inside of you and who should decide how it happens. Who should decide how this should occur? What happens inside of you? Anyone else? You should definitely decide what should happen in this, don't you think? Therefore, if you control what transpires within this, you alone, and no one else, will control your entire life experience, right? Even while you may not have any control over the events occurring around you, you do have complete control over how your life will be experienced if you decide to take action. If you leave it open, pretty much anyone can figure it out. They will, unintentionally becoming like you in the process.